All right, let's jump right in. We're heading into the massive, sun-blasted universe of Dune. And this isn't your typical hero's journey. It's something much darker. It's really the story of a messiah's tragic, devastating success.
Yeah, that line just hits you, doesn't it? It really gets to the heart of what Dune is. It's not a world you just read about on a page. It's a place you feel in your bones. It's dry, it's huge, and it is incredibly dangerous. So yeah, let's do it. Let's step into that silent purgatory together.
So let's talk about Arrakis. You've got to understand, this planet isn't just some backdrop for the story. No way. It's the main character. It's this brutal furnace that either forges you into something stronger or just breaks you completely. It literally reshapes every single person who sets foot on its sand. It's survival pushed to its absolute limit.
And to really get how harsh Arrakis is, you have to see what House Atreides is leaving behind. Think about it. They're coming from Caladan, this beautiful, lush planet, a world of water and rain, a place where saying goodbye is, get this, a luxury. And then, bam, they're dropped onto Arrakis, a scorched new world where the sun is just this relentless tyrant in the sky, and every single drop of water is more valuable than gold. It's not just currency, it's sacred.
So you might be asking, why on earth would they do it? Why make this move? Well, Duke Leto Atreides is no fool. He knows this isn't a promotion. It's a poisoned chalice, plain and simple. It's a death trap, laid out perfectly by the Emperor and their bitter rivals, the Harkonnens. But here's the thing. In this universe, honor and duty, they're like gravity. You just can't escape them. So he walks right into it, knowing full well what it's going to cost him.
Okay, so what's the big deal with this desert death trap of a planet? What makes it so valuable? It all comes down to one thing, one word: spice. The spice melange. It's literally the glue, the universal rivet holding everything together. But for House Atreides, it's about to become the most expensive nail in their coffin.
Now don't get the wrong idea. Spice isn't just some party drug. Its importance is, well, it's absolute. For one, it extends your life. For another, it can unlock prescience. The ability to see into the future. But the big one, the real game changer, it's the only thing that lets the Spacing Guild navigators fold space. That's how you get from one star system to another. So, no spice, no space travel. The entire galactic empire just stops. It collapses.
And that one line, that's it. That's the whole game. It's the engine driving every single thing that happens in this story. It's the fundamental political truth of the Dune universe. It's exactly why a powerful emperor is terrified of a popular duke like Leto. Because if you control this one, single, desolate planet, you control everything, period.
And just like that, the trap springs. And man, is it efficient. The Atreides, they barely have time to unpack. We're talking less than 2 months. A betrayal from someone they trusted completely, their own doctor, just shatters their defenses from the inside out. The Harkonnen attack is lightning fast, it's merciless, and by the time the sun rises the next day, House Atreides is gone. Just a smoldering memory in the desert.
But the great houses, with all their politics and armies, they aren't the only power on Arrakis, not by a long shot. We need to talk about the people who actually live there, the Fremen, because they are the true masters of this world. They are its guardians, and really its first and only ecologists. These people have been forged by this harsh world. Their entire culture, their entire way of life is built around the one thing there's almost none of: water. They wear these incredible things called still suits, which are basically miracles of engineering. They recycle every single drop of the body's moisture. We're talking sweat, tears, everything. For the Fremen, water isn't just what you drink to survive. It's a sacred bond. It's the very thing that holds their society together. And it goes even deeper than that. The Fremen don't just live on Arrakis, they worship it. And their gods? They're the gigantic sandworms they call Shai-Hulud. Now these things aren't just big scary monsters roaming the desert. Oh no, they are the literal source of the spice. They're basically the living, breathing, terrifying will of the planet itself. So, with his family and his house completely destroyed, Duke Leto's son, Paul, finds himself thrown out into this brutal desert. And this is where the story pivots. This is where his own personal tragedy really begins. It's a journey into a future that he can see with crystal clarity, and it terrifies him. This is what's called his terrible purpose.
So you've got Paul, and he's basically being ripped in two.
On one hand, you have his duty. He's a duke's son, he has to avenge his father, he has to lead his people and take back what was stolen. That's his responsibility. But on the other hand, there's this destiny. A destiny he never asked for, to become this thing called the Kwisatz Haderach, a kind of super being who can see all of time. The problem? Fulfilling that destiny means unleashing a holy war across the entire galaxy.
And this is the absolute heart of the tragedy right here. Paul's ability to see the future. It's not a gift, it's a curse, it's a prison. He can see the path forward, the one that leads to his survival and his victory, but he also sees where that path ends, in a horrific, galaxy-spanning holy war, a jihad fought in his name that will kill billions of people. And the most heartbreaking part, every single move he makes to survive, to protect the people he loves, it just locks him onto that terrible path even more tightly. There's no escape.
So this all leads us to the central paradox of the whole story, the climax. See, Paul's victory, it's not a triumphant moment. It's not a happy ending. It's really an act of self-destruction. In order to win, in order to save his people and get his revenge, he has to fully become the monster he's been seeing in his visions.
And this paradox, it isn't just about Paul, it's about the entire planet. The Fremen have this beautiful dream, right? To terraform Arrakis, to turn it into a lush green paradise. But look at what happens if they succeed. First, the water that would bring all that life, it's poison to the sandworms, so the worms die. Well, if the worms die, the spice stops being made. And if the spice stops, the entire galactic empire grinds to a halt and collapses. Their dream of creating life would literally destroy civilization as they know it. It's this perfect, inescapable ecological trap.
So, in the end, what happens? Paul wins. He does everything he set out to do. He gets revenge for his father. He takes the imperial throne. He gets total control of the spice. On paper, it's a complete victory. But in taking that power, he finally, irrevocably unleashes that holy war he fought so hard to stop. He becomes a messiah, a living God to billions of people, and in the process, he completely loses the freedom to just be human, to just be Paul.
Ultimately, what Dune does is it forces you to look inward. The story isn't really about conquering a universe, is it? It's about conquering yourself. And it leaves us with this really heavy question, one that travels all the way from the sands of Arrakis right into our own world today. When you look around at our own world, with its dwindling resources and its powerful, charismatic leaders, you have to ask yourself, have we even begun to conquer what's inside ourselves?